What is going on? You are watching, listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live Wednesday night version, episode 311. And no, if you're watching this, you are definitely seeing double. I hope that means because you also have a cocktail alongside Kodi Maurice Doggette. How the hell are you?
Hello, darling. It's so good to be in the same room as you. I really came for the Adam toy box.
Oh, yeah, it's right next to you on the left over there. Yeah.
So we got to get to that, honey. After
We
worked,
will.
so.
Double for your trouble tonight.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, actually, we were going to talk a little bit about that because we just started a whole promotion right now where if you write in, DM us at TAGSPodcast on Instagram or simply email us and give us your sex conundrums or relationship advice. We will give you the solicited version of our advice, all us hosts. We just started the promotion and you will get an Adam's Toy Box in the mail, courtesy of Adam's Toy Box, where you also get 20% off all of their toys right now by just using our promo code TAGS.
Nice.
But thanks to you guys for your questions. We've got some more coming in next week. I already got some juicy ones coming. Really excited.
I can't wait. I love that part because the people write in and you get to just engage with them and it's so much fun.
Yeah, and that's what all this is about, interaction. And I just think, whenever you can have a third ear or 3 or 4, why not? Why not? So definitely take advantage of that while supplies last. So of course we're always giving advice.
Yes.
On also news of tags. If you notice today, if you're watching this, I've got my Tags Podcast nifty tank top with our cool logo. And like I said, I love our logo because it's 2.0 for us because our old one said talk about gay sex. This one's kind of cool. It's got the rainbow flag on there, but it's tags and it does say it's a podcast. So those in the know will get it. It makes Yep. Those that don't, you have something to share. What's tags? Don't worry about it or talk about gay sex.
Talk about gay sex. That's right.
You can get all the merch, including this. There's tees, hoodies, mugs, stickers, on and on and on in the various colors we've got going for you. Blue, purple, white, on black. And go to tagspodcast.com and look for Tags merch. Well, happy Wednesday to you. Look at these cocktails.
Cheers. They're gorgeous and they taste amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's Halloween week. Very exciting. We were talking about it on the show the other day, Tags Podcast the other day, on how exciting it is that Halloween is here. And I think so many of us are celebrating. You were sharing what your costume's going to be. And tell us again.
I'm a Thundercat.
Thundercat.
I'm Panthro from the Thundercats. And my boyfriend, Joe, he's going to be Lion-O.
Right. And Lincoln and I did not know what they were. And you told us a little bit more. You were telling me a little bit more offline and I love this education that I've been getting about superheroes and comics. And in this particular case, you were saying that it started as a cartoon first and then became a comic, which is fascinating because we always think it goes the other direction.
Yeah, for sure. But this one started out as a cartoon in the 80s. I love
80s? Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I love the cartoon. Every episode I had to make sure I was there right after school or Saturday morning. I had to make sure I was there to watch my Thundercats.
Wow.
So when my boyfriend brought up the idea, I was like, cosign.
He brought it up.
He brought it up.
Did you make him watch? Because you were telling me offline he's not totally Mr. Comic Book.
He's not.
Have you gotten him a little bit more into them?
No.
Oh. But yet it was his idea.
But it was because we couldn't decide. I came up with some ideas. He came up with some ideas, and we couldn't agree on anything. But I mean, that's the way it goes
that because it kind of worked in your favor. You did something. You put something in his cocktail.
I did.
To make him think.
My Thundercat juice. I put it in his cocktail.
Here's a little tidbit that I don't even know if you knew, but did you know? Because we had one of our longtime listeners, Corey Harmon, who's been on the show before. We love Corey. Shout out to you, Corey.
Hi, Corey.
Yes. And did you know that he was so excited we were talking about the Thundercats
Uh-huh.
that the original Panthro, which is who you're going to be,
That's me, yeah.
was voiced by a gay black man.
I did not.
Obviously,
know
in the
that when
80s,
you
they didn't
told
talk
me.
about this.
I mean, of course.
No. But isn't that cool?
When you told me, I was so surprised. And thank you for that tidbit of knowledge, Corey, because now that I know, I Googled him, and guess who it is? You're gonna know.
Oh, who?
Because he was also the father on the Cosby Show.
Wait, that would be Bill.
Not Bill Cosby's father. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, really?
So I know his face and I know his acting, and I was like, that man is. I could not believe. Like,
do we have a name on him?
Knew. I have it here. Actually, his name is Earl Hyman. And I put gay in there in my Google search.
I see. I'm looking at your notes over here. By the way, we prepare for these shows a little bit more on Wednesday, and it's always fun being in the same room with Kodi because he really gets his notes together. I went and got some more sushi, or I was like making cocktails, and he's typing away. Away. Well, and anyway,
he was chatting with me.
I was chatting, and I realized,
but girl, I need to get my notes together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of Halloween, like we said, it's the week of Halloween here in the States. We are going to be talking about Dia de los Muertos in just a second.
Yeah.
But there's this great story that I totally agree with. And it's entitled by Cock and Cocktails, Wishing You a Horny Halloween with the Sluttiest of Outfits. Here's a quote for you. Halloween is the one year a girl can dress like a slut and nobody else can say anything about it. And you know who said that? Regina George. I asked Kodi, do you know who Regina George is?
And I said, yeah, of course I know who Regina George is.
Who's Regina George?
She's from Mean Girls. She's the main antagonist.
Okay, yes. Rachel McAdams.
Yes.
I had to look it up. So here's how crazy I am. I was looking up the story and I said, I should probably figure out who Regina George is. Mm-hmm. And taking this article from Cock and Cocktails, which I believe is out of Britain, I was thinking, because oftentimes they'll quote people in Europe.
Yeah.
So I thought, it's got to be like a total British social media star or somebody that I totally don't know, but I should probably know who we're quoting. And I look it up, and all that came up was Rachel McAdams in Mean Girls. And I'm like, okay, I'm totally take my gay card away.
I know, right? I was like, take it. Give it to me now, girl. When was the last time you saw Mean Girls? Because I know you've had to see it.
We were talking about this, and I think I said I saw it like a good gay when it first came out, but I was one of those that it was cute. It was
every single year to renew your gay card.
And Lincoln, our co-host, saw the Broadway musical, and I thought I could skip it, but I'm sure. I don't know, but
I could skip it.
Yeah, I just, it's always one of those things that I'm always kind of late to the table too, and I didn't know that. But I love that quote. We were talking about it on TAGSPodcast the other day on how we all ultimately, let's just be real. This show's about truth, y'all.
It sure
is. It's going to be coming up a lot. How truthful are you in general to yourself, to the public, to your friends and family? And I have to say, we were truthful the other day when we said we agreed with this quote. We didn't say slutty, but we said sexy. But ultimately, I think we mean slutty. And there's this great, I'm going to post this on TAGSPodcast.com because essentially they put together a slew of people that have posted the sexiest, hottest pictures of Halloween costume, most of them iconic and really hot. Let's just start with Jason.
So hot.
I'm sorry. Michael Myers.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I can't believe I said Jason because I've been watching Halloween.
I just got distracted by his huge bulking muscles.
So you all know Halloween, and if you've been listening to the show, I've been watching all of them from the original 1978 original Halloween. We're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
My favorite one beyond that one is Halloween H2O.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really, I love the story. She's a badass in it. It's set in the 90s. And this
wasn't Kelly Rowland in that one? Okay.
No, but you know who was? Is the blonde one from Dawson's Creek. Actress.
Oh, Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams is
the
in
other
it.
Michelle
She
Williams.
gets killed.
Yes.
That really? Michelle. Look at you. Getting Destiny's Child in there. Not even the right
Not even
child.
the right.
Get it? Destiny's Child.
I got it.
Anyway, Michelle Williams, and she gets killed off, sadly.
Oh, poor Michelle.
But there's a few others, and if you follow the slew. Anyways, Michael Myers is depicted in one of these, and it's a guy that looks like he's in the forest, and he's bulked up beyond capacity.
His muscles are huge.
Hairy ass chest, and just bulked out, naked, grabbing his cock with the Michael Myers scary ass mask on. And I have to tell you, Kodi, when I saw this,
what'd you think?
I wanted, and he's always coming at you with that knife. I wanted him to come after me. What did you say?
Stab me, honey.
Stab me. He could stab me with something else other than the knife.
Stab me with something else first.
I just want to climb on this Michael Myers and get stabbed by something.
I agree.
You know what I'm talking about.
We know.
But there's another one that I didn't recognize.
My favorite was Hella. And
who's Hella?
Hella is from the Thor mythology. Well, about comic books, yes.
Yes, okay.
But Hella is from the Thor mythology, and it's really complicated because in some iterations,
when you're explaining something, you don't want to say it's really complicated because you're trying to get us to understand.
Okay, so in the movies, let's go with that.
Okay, thank you.
In the movies, she is Thor's sister, but that's not
the
Hella, yes.
Okay.
Yes. But he has this headdress on.
Oh, okay. So we're merging genders here. I love that.
I love a good gender swap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to see and thank you for enlarging that for me. I appreciate it.
It's really hot.
I really want to see what the rest of his costume looks like. But then again, maybe I don't want to see what the rest of his costume looks like because what I see is very, very sexy.
It's really sexy. And you know what? He's not hard in it. He's totally naked in the mirror. Got the whole eye makeup black around his eyes. He's got the really cool, what would you call those kind of antlers?
Antlers, yes.
Yeah, he's got an 8-pack packing. Not the biggest dick ever, and I don't mind.
I'm okay with it.
And I love that.
I want to see his ass, though.
Yeah, okay. Well, that would be something to check out. Any others here that we have to definitely, there's a couple Spider-Mans on here. And I have to say,
that Spider-Man is the hottest Spider-Man.
So there's one on here, and to me, you almost can't go wrong with the Spider-Man outfit. I think.
Oh yeah.
It's been said that a lot of kids always gravitate to the Spider-Man. For whatever reason. When I was a kid, I definitely gravitated to Spider-Man but prior to that was Superman.
Okay.
But there's something about it. I don't know if it's just the agileness that he has.
Okay.
And we all want to think we're a superhero and can climb, and we're always climbing trees. It has something, but as an adult, like this one, I'll never forget. We were doing an event with TAGSPodcast, and I had just got back from Africa, and I was all into Africa.
Yeah.
It was a life-changing vacation, and I had taken a lot of pictures of leopards. And I decided, I want to be a sexy or slutty leopard. So I bought all the accoutrement and, leggings, no shirt, the tail, blue eyes, ears. And I was a sexy leopard.
I love that.
We were at this event and I dropped everything because I see this super hot guy. He didn't even bother with the mask, but his body was so hot So imagine like a body that
completely
covered. Completely covered.
Wow.
But like this picture, which again, I'll post this on TAGSPodcast.com tomorrow. If you can fill out, they're Lycra, you can fill that out and you can see everything.
You can see everything.
Yeah. I have to say, just walking around the city and seeing while we're in that transition of the weather changing, I'm seeing a lot of hot bodies just right when I went to get my sushi. And I'm always stopped
every now when you went downstairs.
Yes, and these are real life
with you.
Inspirational superheroes, everyday superheroes, and I see everyday superheroes that, in my mind, they're a superhero.
Yeah,
and what are your ending thoughts on this?
I just have to say, if you have that leopard suit still, there's a Thundercat called Chitara that you could be.
Oh, you could have got me in the mix.
You could have been with us. So I don't know if you still want to do it. There's still
time. I got rid of a lot of it.
What is your costume again?
Okay, right. So in honor of slutty, in the slutty category, let's just forget it. We're not being sexy anymore. We're just being slutty. You and I, I'm joining you and your crew, and we're going to be going to a huge party here called Alegria.
Yes.
And I just decided, what do I have? Like, let me just shop in I should have shopped for the leopard.
Okay.
But I ended up shopping in my closet. A lot of people know I have a huge leather collection, and I found an amazing leather apron that somebody made for me, a leather maker.
Oh, cool.
And I've got these huge high boots. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to be a psychotic butcher.
Okay.
So I bought like this Michael Myers knife, and if you can see right now, I've got this butcher knife on my earring,
watch out.
And I'm gonna just paint my face, and I'm gonna be psychotic looking, but my butt, of course, I'm gonna be naked underneath the apron. So there you go.
Are we getting the same cab?
That's not even sexy. That's slutty, right? Well, I mean, isn't that a good one though?
That's amazing. I do think, and I still think that you should put a white streak in your hair and be Sweeney Todd still. But I mean, it's neither here nor there. It's your decision.
I mean, why do you gotta make me gray?
Prematurely.
I do exactly. No, there will not be any gray in my hair.
Fine.
I don't know about that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, let us know what you're going to be. It's an exciting week. And a lot of people may or may not know, but on November 1st and 2nd, always in Mexico, it's the quintessential Dia de los Muertos, one of my favorites. I am Mexican American, and I just love this holiday because ultimately it is really about celebrating the dead. And Mexico has always had a different take on it. Obviously, no one wants to lose anybody. But they really celebrate their dead. And it's a whole holiday festival. If you've ever been to Mexico, there's parades in various parts of the country that really honor, and they've got huge skeleton or people that maybe have passed. And it's a walking march around. It's beautiful. And I love everything. If you come to my house, you see a lot of skulls. But there is, so
right there.
Yeah. Doritos, the chip company,
couldn't believe it,
has a Day of the Dead commercial with the queer couple, and it's going viral. It's a new cartoon ad for Doritos Mexico. And it's been released in time for Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. The commercial was published just last week and got over 2.5 million views on YouTube.
Wow.
It essentially features a family paying homage, respects to their late uncle, who turns up with an unexpected guest. And you watched the commercial.
I did.
Essentially, it's got this whole family, and they're all going through the grave. And it's in that, what would you say the style of, what's that famous movie?
Like Coco.
Coco, right.
Yes.
So if you imagine those characters, again, I will post this on TAGSPodcast.com. The family, including the grandmother, the parents, and the children, all go out, and they're essentially putting flowers or gifts. And what do they put down in front of a bowl of Doritos to Uncle Alberto?
Yes.
And so the commercial goes, so all of a sudden out of nowhere, Uncle Alberto appears out of the grave. Again, just work with us here. And he appears, and everyone's like, Uncle Alberto,
hey, boo.
Hey. And then all of a sudden, another man appears behind him, and they're like, and because it's all in Spanish, like, ¿Quién es? Who is this? And turns out it's Uncle Alberto's partner. So in other words, he found a partner, and everyone's like shocked looks on their face. And the whole point, and then the grandmother, who's the sister of Uncle Alberto, at the end says in Spanish, essentially she says, oh, I'm so glad you finally found somebody.
It's so
and
sweet.
The whole point is it's never too late to find that someone, essentially, is what it's saying.
It's so sweet. It was so heartwarming.
It's so heartwarming.
Thank you, Doritos.
Thank you, Doritos.
I did not know I needed that in my life. And just the fact that the grandmother was like so welcoming to she basically called the man her brother, like, upon seeing him, and I was like, that's so sweet.
Right. And again, it's never too late to speak your truth. And I think that's what's always kind of what our theme is that we're going to be talking today on Vulnerable Voices. Right after this next story, you guys, a top male soccer star, John Cavallo, has come out, and he's also made history. And, a lot of people always come out. This one was really big for me because it's in the soccer, professional soccer, or as many call it, football. And in a video on social media just this Tuesday, Australian soccer player Josh Cavallo came out. He's a midfielder for Adelaide United. And he announced at the beginning of this video, there's something personal I need to share with everyone. And he says, I'm a footballer and I'm gay. Wow. He's made history because he is a professional soccer player and he's currently the only out gay soccer player in the world.
Astonishing to me.
He's only 21. I made you watch the video. I watched the video. I will post this on TAGSPodcast.com, and I encourage you all to watch his posting because it was beautifully shot. He clearly checked in with a videographer on how he wanted to do this, which, honey, he is gay and he got it right. Because if I was going to make a major,
he's lit.
He's lit.
he's looking adorable.
There's dramatic pauses in the coming out process.
Oh yeah,
there's shots of him and other things. But you know what?
The production value is there,
honey. Why didn't we all have our videographer when we came out to be like, Mom, hold on, and press play with this where I was crying watching this on my video. Good. You were practically in tears. Yeah, so imagine if we all had that cameraman to shoot that and then play this.
Yeah,
it would be like
so much
your own
easier
movie.
For us.
Yeah, and how could anybody be upset with that? But regardless, he is adorable, and that's not even the point. I think it's monumental. You were saying, I wish. What were you saying offline?
I said that I went because so many people are coming out, and it's always such a public statement, and you can always see that it's weighing so heavy on them.
Right.
So I'm glad he came out because I feel like he got a lot off of his chest, and now he's living authentically.
Yes.
But my real concern was like, when is this not going to be an issue? When are we not going to have to come out so publicly as a footballer or an actor or what have you? And I feel like nobody should have to go through that turmoil to think that their job is going to be in jeopardy.
Yeah, and I was saying to you offline that until the way I think about it, people, if he's the only one that we know of that's out, and we just talked about on a recent show about National Coming Out Day and how important that was. At least you and I shared stories about our coming out, and Lincoln, although he's out and proud, didn't have that necessarily, although he's come out in different ways to friends, family, his work environment, and lives an out life.
For sure.
Everyone has a different way, and he may have been this Josh Cavallo out amongst friends.
Yes.
But imagine if you were in an industry, we're talking about soccer. As far as I know, it is global. It reaches international audiences. People are fanatical about it, and there's not one person that we can say. And when we report time and time again, and I often say, if we really wanted to, we could report on the tremendous amount of hate crimes that are going on daily in our LGBTQ plus world.
For sure.
This is a big deal. And I think what was really beautiful as he went on is that he's got so much support from coaches to team players that have really outpoured, and can't always be said about counterpart sports like the NFL necessarily.
Ooh, you better read.
I'm just saying, and soccer or football, as they like to call it, the real football, as I like to say, is
you are just out here reading the NFL.
I am because I just think I'm so glad that he made a stamp on. And as the first ever.
I am too. And it's going to help so many young people out there.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm wondering when it's not going to be such an ordeal, because I could see in this young man's video how heavy it was on him. And you can just tell that.
Definitely. But I
felt
think
the weight of it.
Which we're about to talk about in Vulnerable Voices, about how honest and how much of your truth do you really divulge and show.
Yes.
If that is weighing on you, and he talks about in this video how he was fearful of not just being made fun of, but being ridiculed. And he could be ridiculed not just on the team, coaching, in his circle, but it could also be on larger platforms, social media, wherever they travel to, other teammates from other teams. And we've all heard of those stories too. That could happen too. So at least to get that, to have that fear can often, I think, affect your performance.
Oh, for sure.
And if it's weighing on you, it ultimately is going to affect your performance, which the team's like, no, we support you because he's clearly good enough to be a pro. And I think, why not? Sometimes speaking our truth is releasing a huge weight off our shoulders so we can really be our true essence without obstacle in the way.
He's going to be lighter on the field. I just know it.
A lot lighter on the field. Absolutely. Got a sex conundrum? Need a third ear or ears to weigh in on your relationship matters? How about a new toy for your toy box? Tags is here for you. Big or small, subtle or not, have the Tags crew give you some solicited advice on sex or your relationships. We've got you. And for a limited time, we'll send you a sexy toy courtesy of Adam's Toy Box, where you already get 20% off all merchandise by using our promo code TAGS. So what are you waiting for? DM us at TAGSPodcast on Instagram or email us your questions. Hear the advice on an upcoming Tags podcast. Then we'll send you a sexy toy courtesy of Adam's Toy Box. Got it? We're waiting, listening, and giving it to you. DM us at TAGSPodcast or email us now. All right. Well, we talked about this a second ago, and we were talking about our vulnerable voices. We haven't done this in a minute.
I know. We need to. I love this segment. I love this segment so much.
I'm so glad we're back to it. Yeah, absolutely. So we're labeling this how honest are we really? And I thought we could talk a little bit about, so we were just talking about coming out, and I just think inherent in many of our stories, we were telling a lot of them recently on National Coming Out Day, is coming out. And then we've had more stories. We're going to be talking about intersex, non-binary. All these things are showing how honest, oftentimes our community, I don't think gets enough credit because sometimes we take a little bit longer to find our true essence, but to really divulge our sexuality to often the world is a huge releasing and showing how honest we are inherent in coming out. I mean, would you not agree with that?
I totally agree. And it was kind of tough for me because I kind of got pulled out. I remember telling my story. So my sister kind of pulled me out of the closet a little bit.
Right.
I still came out to my family after that when I had to explain to them what was going on. So I acknowledged that my part in it as well. But the thing that I've always told myself about this and other things is that if someone has the balls to ask me something, I'm never, ever, ever going to lie, because I feel like if they have the audacity to ask me a question, then they deserve the truth.
Right.
I've only broke this twice, and I'm not going to tell you when it was.
Okay. I'll try and pull it out. I know
that was your next question.
Yes, exactly.
But I think the hardest part for me about coming out was really being honest with myself. That is the first and foremost thing that I had who I had to be honest with, because I'll tell you, that was the actual first time that I kind of what allowed me not to be honest and to break that rule of, if somebody has the audacity to ask me a question, then I'm always going to be honest with them. I wasn't being honest with myself first. So then in that, I lied to somebody.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. And it brings up a whole topic, because have one of our bullet points is how honest are we with ourselves?
Yes.
And I was sharing with you that during the heart of the lockdown, when we were all really having to just be hunkered down in our own spaces.
Yeah.
For me personally, it was a time of a lot of reflection. And two things came to mind when I came up with the topic, how honest are we really? One was age, for sure, is I've noticed at 50, always will care what people think.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't get away from that completely. But I was much more concerned about that. And with age, I'm less likely to care as much and have as many people around me as yes men. I have fewer, closer, curated friends these days.
I agree.
And those people, I find the less I have, the more honest I am and share with those core people.
I agree with you 100%.
We share a heck of a lot on this show.
This show
and the show makes me be honest too.
I know, that's what I was just about to say.
Have you noticed?
Because I feel like that I am so much more, well, you keep me honest a lot, I feel like.
Yes.
And I feel that I don't want to misrepresent myself to everybody, and I would
to our friends
that are hello boo, how you doing? Hello darlings.
Right.
So I want people to be able to trust in me as just as much as I trust in them, and it's almost like a symbiosis kind of sort of. But at the end of the day, I will say that there are some parts of myself that I keep to myself.
Sure.
Because I do need that, and that is something that I require for me. So I definitely hold something for myself, but it's just so that I can protect a piece of my life.
That is totally not at all. And I think the show it's a great bullet point that we didn't even think about when we were preparing for this. Is the show is really, because when I've listened to podcasts, often if you listen to, say, other podcasts of celebrities that are on there, you'll notice that sometimes they'll divulge more than they would divulge. They'll divulge more on a podcast than they would on, say, a TV interview. And I think it's because the mic, the radio style of it, and the intimacy of podcasting.
You don't feel like people are watching, but people are watching.
This particular one that we're doing a little bit, we are on camera and it's a little different, but it's still intimate in many ways.
It's like kicking it with my friend.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got cocktails. But I learned
the cocktails always help.
Cocktails always help. Yeah, somebody once asked, a guest was asking me to be on he wanted to do it in the morning, and I said, "Oh no,
honey.
What am I gonna have? Coffee? Not happening. I mean, I drink coffee, but no. I mean, part of this is relaxing.
You could always put Bailey's in it.
I could. I could have a mimosa.
Yes.
So maybe I should have this guest on a Saturday or Sunday
for brunch.
For brunch.
That's right.
There you go.
I'll come over.
Right. And truth be told, speaking of honesty, is this whole podcast, we're going to be celebrating 5 years in February, was in my living room floor, inspired by Jeremy Ross Lopez, our other host, talking about our sex lives and over cocktails at 3 a.m. and realizing that this would be really good. And so that's really where the truth came out, and sharing with one of my best friends things that were going on and feeling trusted with the friend. So this is just now, TAGSPodcast is just a little bit on a larger platform, but it's still sharing those are and I would say whenever we have guests and we encourage them to write in, we will divulge your handler or your name, but I respect you guys and thank you guys for really expressing your conundrums to us, and we do honestly take them seriously.
I put a lot of thought.
You do. This one really does. Yes, we all do, but this one in particular, I have to say.
I love. Well, I'm a life coach also, so I like to look at it from two different angles, because I like to look at it from the advice or the reflection that I would like to have on my clients, but I also like to apply it to myself as well. So,
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Multifaceted.
Yes.
What do you think about social media? Because I was saying to you, social media, we all have sort of like a veneer, a facade of how we present ourselves and what we put forth. And sometimes it's as simple as just a simple picture, but maybe it's a picture, but with a filter over it. And I think, and that also we can get into a little bit of like the apps on if you can recall back was there anything?
Oh, I can remember.
Let's first talk about social media. What do you think about social media?
My life on social media, on Instagram, it's just like, it's very fabulous. That's how my life is 24/7. Hello, darling.
I love it.
I'm Kodi Maurice Doggette. No, it's a lie. I present my best self on, everybody does, on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I could admit that I definitely tweak my pictures just a little bit.
Of course. Yeah.
I put a little, what I do mainly.
A glaze, a gloss.
A nice glow on there. I put mainly.
Turpentine.
I put
spackle.
I put Vaseline on the lens.
Okay. Yeah. It's a little, I noticed your pictures seem a little foggy at times, and I'm wondering, is Kodi back in San Francisco?
His Wi-Fi must be horrible.
What is going on?
Everything's
always got
1.
that cloudy veil look to it.
She's got a flip phone. I don't know what's going on with her. No, bitch.
No, they don't. But
no, I get bags under my eyes pretty bad, so I clean those up.
Okay.
And then I make my eyes a little bit brighter. But other than that, it's all lighting.
I love it.
And angles.
Lighting and angles, yes. I use
and
those
they work
things
wonders,
too.
right?
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. I do the same thing. I've got my one window that's really great for shooting in the middle of the day.
I get made fun of because people are always like, you only shoot in front of this one place.
Well, I know. So I'm starting to mix it up a little bit so that people don't just think, okay, the same living room background every single time.
Your living room is fabulous, though.
It's okay, but it's just, I just think we could mix it up a little bit. And truth be told, and honesty, on Wednesdays, sometimes I'll do a promo for this show, and it'll be after I work out, and I'll do it shirtless. And I had somebody, a friend of mine, comment. He's like, "Ooh, I love Wednesday's pose." I now know, and I thought, "Oh, okay." Even though that was like a compliment, it was also like, "Oh, so we're expecting." So today, what did I do? I didn't post that.
Oh,
I know, because I thought
you showed his ass.
I'm changing the mix up. But sometimes people can. His honesty was complimentary, but I took it. I'm always looking for ways to improve, and I do not want to be stale and the same.
Mine is on a Thursday, so
okay, that's your
Thirsty Thursdays.
Every
Thursday. So yes.
And speaking of that, you can follow us on TikTok at TAGSPodcast. Follow us on TikTok. Lastly, I want to just talk about: have you ever fudged the truth a little bit, or haven't been honest? And let's just talk about sex really quick. So about the apps, I'll start first.
Go.
And on the apps, I want to say I'm pretty accurate with my pictures.
Yeah.
It's crazy too, because I'll post pictures that look just like me, or they're relatively new, showing everything, and people will still want like more pictures.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's like the thing. And I don't want to go in circles. Like, I just want, like, either you want to meet or you don't want to meet. And that's why I always say I don't do well. Have I ever fudged on honesty a little bit? Maybe I made my dick a little bit bigger, longer. It's a grower, not a shower. It's thicker than it is long, but maybe I made it like 8.5 by 6.5.
Oh my God! That's...
When it's maybe more, it is the 6.5, but no, 8.
Oh,
maybe I'll make it 8.5 times 6.5.
Oh, you add half an inch. That's what I do.
Not the second half.
Yes.
Not the 6.5.
Oh, damn, bitch. Okay. I never knew. She got a beer
listeners,
can.
I'm holding this mic right now. but the 8.5 might be like, I may have added a little half an inch.
I definitely
or
had
3/4 of an inch.
Hey. It is what it is.
Yeah.
My driver's license says I'm 5'10" and I'm only 5'9".
We know you're on a good day, we're 5'9".
You know, in heels, I'm 5'10".
In heel, all right. Well, that's true.
Heels.
They didn't ask.
They didn't ask.
Right. They need to be more specific.
I know, right?
Yes.
They need to, if they want to know, flat-footed. How tall are you?
Exactly. Okay, there you go.
5'2". And
yeah.
No.
But yeah, I think, but in general, I think when you agree with age makes you more honest and
I agree 100%.
less. Yeah.
What about in bed before we move on?
When have I not been honest in bed in terms of like sex?
Yes.
When have I not been? I have. Oftentimes you'll hear women say they faked it in bed.
This is what I'm getting at. I'm glad you picked up on it.
I have with somebody that I really liked before, because sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes it can take me a little longer to come.
Okay.
And I've just noted, I could tell this person like was so desperate to want me to come with them fucking me. And it was making me mental that, I mean, I probably could have come if we had just taken a break and then maybe just I had me jerk off. But I was just so much that I knew it wasn't going to suffice to say that. And they wanted me to physically come. So I just faked it. But I still enjoyed the experience. Then I just acted like just acted like I wiped it up and then was like out of breath.
That is the point.
Huffing and puffing, out of breath, and then was just like, oh, I have to use the bathroom, and ran to the bathroom as if like I went to clean up, and I came back and I was like good to go. The experience was so pleasurable. It's just that I felt were so incessant and neurotic about me having to come while they were doing it. It wasn't going to happen in my mind in the time frame that they would have liked. And to me, I got in my head and it was going to ruin the whole experience, that it was easier to fake it till you make it. and I did a good job, and they believed me.
They believed you, right? Yeah. You get Best Actress. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Have you? So yes, I wasn't very honest, but I felt like I needed to lie on that one.
Yeah, of course. I get it. I have faked it too.
Oh, have you? Really?
Yes. Again, my experience was not enjoyable.
Okay.
I really was not into it, but I never really have a problem getting hard.
Right.
So it looked like I was into it, but I really was not into it, and I was not going to come. So I was just
it's about the pressure of ejaculation. And sometimes you're just not in it.
I will
say I have been with people where I've just been like, oh, it's not going to happen right now. And that's cool. This was so hot.
Yeah.
And they're cool with it.
I've been there before too.
Yeah.
But I'm having a good time still. This one I was just not into it at all.
But you felt the need to fake it till you made it.
Because I'm a nice person.
Are you? He is. No,
I am.
He really is.
So I felt like I had to fake it in order to not make them feel bad about me not being into the experience. Because I would not like to explain that I was not into the experience.
You better explain yourself, you see. Exactly.
So, but when the thing is, like, you have to account for the cum as if you're a man.
I've been with guys before that they think that they come a lot, and sometimes juices get lost up all in there with sweat. How would they even know?
Well, I had
you know what I'm saying? I guess really. Oh, okay.
So they were like, "Where's the cum at?" And I was like,
"Oh my god! See, that would have been so easy to fake. You would have just all you had to have done is like grab it and go. I'm just gonna throw this away, get rid of this mess. Not that you were messy, baby, but I just want to get rid of the evidence.
I'm not that smart when it comes to that. But I told them that I had jacked off earlier, so
okay. Oh, so then
that's why there wasn't a whole bunch of cum. There was actually none of that.
Zero ejaculation.
I was like, oh, I don't know. It must be on
you
my
probably spit more on them than you did.
I know.
You probably spit more on me right now in doing this episode like this than there was any pre-cum.
It's because your drinks are so delicious.
I probably got more of a shower than that poor boy did in that.
I'm gonna go. I'm so sorry. Now I'm feeling self-conscious again.
Oh God, no! Please don't.
Screen right here.
Anyways, look at how we turned vulnerable voices into a slutty hot mess. I am all
in a spit fest. You enjoyed it, bitch.
I did. I really did. All right. Well, we've got to get on with the rest of the show. Which one do you want to get to? Yes, and I think see if there's any more in here.
Thank you.
Cody's asking for more cocktails. I'm not sure, but we're almost done with the show, so I will make him another one. All right. I think we have time for this TikToker one, right?
That's fabulous. I love that one.
Okay, so we are on TikTok right now at TAGSPodcast, and so I'm always looking for stories about it. And there's this TikToker who accidentally exposed his penis, his dick, during, I don't want to say penis anymore, his cock.
That's right.
During a dance trend. I know. I'm so like smack his cock. So there's this 20-something who was trying to take advantage of this new trend. And you know how there's always these trends. What do they call them? I guess TikTok trends, right?
Yeah.
And he did this whole dance thing in his underwear. So this lad was trying to nail a dance trend, and he was, which is all about thrusting your crotch. And I'm not sure if the trend has you being in your underwear, but in this one, he was in his underwear.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea is thrusting. Well, he's quite like a twink body, right?
He is
lean, looks extremely young, and he's doing it, and he's thrusting, and as he's thrusting away, his dick slides out of his Calvin Klein floral print boxers.
Yes.
And clearly, like, he's got a room full of people that are filming it, and they're screaming in the background. And I have to say, you pointed this out too. The dick was not small.
It was pretty. I felt really guilty looking at this because he looks so young. I was like, wait a minute now. I need to see his ID. I need to see what's going on because I need to know if I can look at him.
The guy could have looked more nerdier and younger except for the fact that, I mean, he looks like a little boy in many ways. It's kind of freaky that he's in these underwear and then his dick comes out.
And then his dick comes out. But it's...
I mean, is he... I think he's probably 18, I hope.
He has to be. In my headcanon, he's 18.
He has to be, yeah.
But his dick is pretty big. And
it's pretty big.
People need to weigh in on this and let me know.
But he clearly was freaking out that it came out, and the screams in the background are hilarious. I will post this on TAGSPodcast. A lot of videos to watch this week.
Yes.
But I have to ask you, Kodi, have you ever had a malfunction where you exposed a little bit more than you wanted to?
I have to say no. I've been searching my mind this entire time, and
you better search deeper.
And while I have been naked in public several times, it's always been.
You just need more alcohol.
Thank you, darling. It's always been purposefully that I've done it, and I need to stop saying P words because that's what I tend to say.
And the more alcohol they come out,
yes, but it's
stuttery.
Exactly. So it's always been purposefully that I've been nude in public.
Okay.
So, what about you?
Well, I was thinking about this, and it's funny because he's thrusting in his underwear, and I definitely remember this time in the 90s when I was a go-go dancer, which I've said before on the show, and there was this trend that we adopted from Bangkok, which was called the towel dance. Which was this whole thing. We get on a platform, dance, and be in our G-string, our thong, or maybe go-go shorts, go down to our thong, and then ultimately go down, put a towel, a white towel. It had to be a white towel.
Ew.
You know, because that creates the whole move.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Put the white towel around, and then clearly, visibly remove your undergarments, your jockstrap, and you were naked. But and you could do all kinds of fun stuff like put it in front just to expose your ass. But I would do this thing where I would get too comfortable, maybe one too margarita. Have another drink. One too many margaritas.
There it is. Thank you.
And I would bend over, and my friends, and I'll never forget, I was in a contest where I was doing this, where I ultimately won.
Ooh,
and
I wonder why.
Friends of mine were in the audience, and I was doing this towel dance and trying to be all sexy, and I'm bending over, and my friends later say, do you know that every single time you bend over, we can see your balls and your dick from the other side? And
that's why you
truth be told, my balls are a little bit lower hanging. And my friends were making all these jokes later, like, those donkey balls are like, we can see that whole thing. You think you're hiding everything, and you're not hiding anything.
I'm learning so many good
things. And I was embarrassed, but also like, well, it won me the prize.
That's right, bitch. You better be proud.
Didn't get me censored. I won the prize. It was a cash prize of not $100,000. I wish it was.
Come on, RuPaul.
It may have been $50 if I was lucky, and a bar tab, which was like alcohol.
That's awesome.
But I bought those drinks for everybody and took
right.
that $50 and paid my way home.
A drink is a drink.
A drink is a drink is a drink. We're about to have more drinks, but before we go, we got to weigh in on our favorite topic of every Wednesday night. It's called Thirst Trap. This comes out on Thursday, so it's Thursday Thirst Trap. It's always sponsored by Straight Up Gay Porn, one of our favorite sites, and they always do a great job. And this week, it's 19 gay porn stars asking the question, who took the best photo or video? Kodi, I got to ask you, who was your favorite? So I'm scrolling for you, so you can do it on your own over here. But who's
thank you, Zaddy.
Yes,
all of them are amazing.
Are they? Okay.
So there's so many good ones.
Yeah, we lost it. Who is your favorite?
My favorite is Christian Styles and Yes Braun.
Christian Styles was your favorite, and why?
Yes Braun, because it's a video, number one, and you can see and. Immediately when the video comes on, you see Christian's face, and his mouth is wide open.
Oh yes, I love this video. Well, okay, so it's hard to tell because it's Christian Styles is the face.
It's the face.
So guys, and let me help him out a little bit. His tongue is out like he's about to lick the best lollipop ice cream that he's ever had in his life.
Yes.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and his mouth is just wide open, and his tongue is out, and you see, whoa!
You may have heard that.
That's gonna be in the audio. And you see Yes Braun's cock in the shot too. I said cock, I didn't say penis.
Thank you.
And then just immediately, Yes Braun just erupts all over Christian's face.
Yes.
And all you do is hear Yes Braun moan out of pure, unadulterated pleasure. And it's amazing. And cum is flying everywhere. It's all over his face. And Christian looks happy as a pig in slop. Pun intended.
Wow, that's really.
And you get to see his cute and furry butt, and it's just.
It's everything. It is kind of everything.
Off in your bathroom, but I did not.
The cum shot is really good.
Yeah.
He clearly was not faking it and being honest that day.
He was not faking
the person.
It.
No. Really good one.
You can account for the cum in this video.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Again, we want you to weigh in as well. Let us know
who's
your favorite.
Tyler?
Mine really was John Clyde.
Oh, I follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, it was funny as I was going to run out and get my sushi as you were taking your overextended notes, your biography for this podcast. I was like, oh, who was he talking about? Well, it turned out it was my favorite. And the reason why he's very beefy in this, he's super sexy. It's hard to wear like a t-shirt and he's got a great body under that and looks super sexy, but he's got this great mustard colored t-shirt on. And then when you scroll down, he's clearly in the bathroom. His dick is so thick.
Yes.
And I just went with it because
he's so cute.
He's super cute. And if you go to his Twitter account, which is how I often vote, which is really not part of the rules.
He went to the Twitter account.
Well, let me just explain.
We're looking at it now.
Yeah, let me explain something. Yeah, we're looking at it now. You're seeing my process. And essentially what I always like about it is that Straight Up Gay Porn does a good job of putting up, if it's the 19 who took the hottest photos of the week, they also then put a link, and it's always to their Twitter accounts. You get to see them outside of it. And I treat it like Miss America or when I ran for Mr. Leather. It's not one contest. You go up 3 times. There's a Q&A.
Yes.
So we don't get the Q&A on here.
Gown, swimsuit.
No. So this is these are the other portions of what I'm judging on. And in all of them, I love a good
clearly
great
wants world peace in that first picture.
He does. It's all about the bulge for him. And it's all about the bulge. And I'm a size queen, truth be told.
Yes.
And if it's straight on that, I'm voting for him. I love it. You can weigh in by going to TAGSPodcast.com. Don't forget, write in, ask for sex or solicited relationship advice, and we will give it to you. You can DM us at TAGSPodcast or email us. And for a limited time, we're giving away, I don't know if you can grab that toy box over there below, but a toy I will send you from adamstoybox.com, where you already get 20% off all toys. Look at this toy box. They're all in here. Yes. There's some goodies. So I'll let you, Cody's going to check it out. All new live shows next week. Check us out. More advice given. You can follow Kodi at Mr. Maurice, and he's a life coach at KMD Coaching. And Kodi, this is always so fun.
So much fun.
In the same room, too. It's a different dynamic, right?
Yes, for sure.
I love it.
It's always so much fun with you. So thank you.
Check out the merch while it's still hot and ready. Go to Tags Podcast and go to Tags Merch. And in the meantime, continue having hot gay sex. Yes.
Fall means autumnal breezes and vibrant earthy colors. It also means fall allergens, bacteria, and particles coming into your home. So swap out your old HVAC air filter with a Filtrete air filter from a retailer near you. Let's clear the air.
This is Dave Grohl, and I'm excited to tell you about my memoir, The Storyteller. In my book, I've collected and captured many moments of my life. From my childhood in D.C. to touring the world with the Foo Fighters, meeting and jamming with my musical heroes, becoming a father, and much more. Telling stories, like making music, is how we make our lives and the lives of people we care about richer. I perform the audio edition of The Storyteller. Download it today wherever you get your audiobooks. Turn it up.